Hi, welcome to Studio 14. I'm Kim Newcomer with the City of Fort Collins. Well, spring is finally here. And just like you guys are getting your house and your yard ready for the springtime, we're doing the same here at Fort Collins Parks. To tell us more about it, I have Bob Brookhart, and Bob's a crew chief for our North District and all the parks within that area. Bob, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Kim.
Well, already I can hear you guys are hard at work.
Well, Kim, we're trying to get caught up here. We usually have a couple of days in January and February, typically in a winter season, where we can get out and do some of this work earlier in the winter. But because of the snowfall we've had this winter, we're a little bit behind, but we're trying to get caught up with some of this grade work. This is our combo plane out here, and it does some texturing, some grade work, and levels the fields and gets them conditioned for spring play, repairs some of the dips and low spots, high spots, and bring it back to where we'd like to have it for our players.
How beat up do these fields get over the winter?
Well, they do get beat up mostly from the wind, and we have a lot of wind-blown debris that comes across and gets stacked up at the bleacher level here that we have to clean up. We're ramping up efforts in a lot of areas. Right now our crews are very busy this week opening up restrooms, and so in addition to the softball fields, soccer is coming along, and so we're trying to get all our facilities open. We work closely with the recreation department, and they're ready to go and got players out there ready to play.
You mentioned Audubon certification.
Yeah.
Tell us about that a little bit.
Well, the Audubon Cooperative Sanctuary Program, it involves a combination of resource management, wildlife habitat, waste control and recycling, sustainability, and education and outreach. And so we've incorporated those programs into Roland Moore and Eudora Parks this last year, and we're working this year for certification at Spring Canyon and Fossil Creek Community Parks. On the south end of the park, we have some storage bins where we are composting, and we also store mulch and infield soil. And then in regards to general sustainability, waterless urinals in our bathrooms, and the fact that we're using electric utility carts now all help to reduce water use, resource demands, and energy consumption. So
you're talking about a no-mow area. What exactly is that?
Well, that's an area that we've taken that was previously a high maintenance turf area and tried to move into some different grass types where we can let them grow a little more naturally and to a greater height with less need for mowing. We work with wildlife management and increasing habitat. At the same time we are doing that, we're reducing the need for resource and energy consumption with reducing mowers and emissions and time and energy. One of the things that we do throughout the winter is to inspect each and every one of our park playgrounds at least once a week, and we try and do that 52 weeks a year. And right here we happen to be standing right next to one of the bird flicker boxes that we've put up here as, again, part of the Cooperative Sanctuary Program.
Much better than the tree in front of my yard, which is where I think all the other flickers like to live.
That's right.
I'll direct them this way.
All right.
One of my favorite things about parks is the fact that most of them have some sort of water feature. I mean, like this pond here at Roland Moore, but I can imagine that makes it a little bit harder to maintain.
In a place like this pond here at Roland Moore, we have a Solar Bee pond aerator, and we have a number of these around that people may have noticed and wonder what they are. And these are all solar powered and oxygenate deeper areas of the pond, and we like to check out the wildlife that likes to use them as a perch too. We get pelicans out there in the middle of summer, and cormorants and seagulls, and of course the ever-present Canadian goose.
We have a lot of great park users. The challenge for me is really, I feel like we work really hard to keep a very good park system across the board, and you have those ones or twos that don't respect
aren't
the
playing
park.
by the rules,
Yeah.
and it makes it harder
the
for
vandalism,
everybody else.
the graffiti,
Right.
and that's difficult for me. I mean, that's probably my hardest thing. It hurts.
What's going on with this blue building behind you right here?
That's our pump station, our pump house. Inside is our VFD pump controls and VFD pump. A VFD is a variable frequency drive. So the pump, instead of just kicking on with full power and full force, it ramps up slowly, so it helps reduce the amount of energy that we're using, as well as hopefully reduce some of our pipe breakage, because we're not getting a surge of water pumping through the line. On a 30-year-old park, it's really starting to really help us save the infrastructure and keep it more maintainable. Unfortunately, just about every zone at one point or another will have a head or that's out of whack, or unfortunately it's out into the street, or just one of those disadvantages to wintertime and having us shut everything down and then start it up again. So we're back at it.